Hi, I'm Sally and this is the tutorial for my panda bear charm design. This was a request, so as always I always do my best to do requests that you make if I can. So here is one amongst other ones that are already on my channel. You'll need black and white bands for him because he's a panda and that's what colour they are. So let's make a start. So taking your loom in the staggered configuration with the arrows pointing towards you, we're going to start by making his ears. So taking 2 black bands, we're going to go down once, down the centre of the loom, and we're going to make a diamond shape. And I can't get hold of my bands, there we go. So you're going to place one from the side second, so left second into the centre, and then from the centre out to the side right second, like this, and then we're going to make another diamond shape here. So still using 2 bands. Like so. I think I'm going to sneeze in a minute, so hopefully it'll go away. Like this. Placing a cat band around this bottom pin here. So taking a single band and wrapping it around the pin 3 times. 2 and 3, like so. I'm going to do the exact same thing again for the other ear. So going diagonally out, and same the other side, and then closing it off. Like this, placing a cat band there. So, whoops. 3. So this is what you should have for your panda's ears, and you can begin to loop up. So, taking your hook inside the cat band, push the cat band back with the back of your hook. Take the top 2 bands and loop them whichever way they need to go, and then taking the second pair of bands like this, and going inside each of the side pins and looping them into the centre, like so, and then through this centre pin here, pushing back all of these bands, and you're just getting the bottom 2, and I've only got 1 there I think, so I'm going to go back and find the other one. It's very well hidden. I've never had such difficulty finding a single band, I don't think. It's because they're all the same colour as well, it makes it a bit more tricky. There we go. Okay, so when it's all looped up, it looks like this. Same on this one, so going inside the cat band, pushing it back, finding the top 2, and looping them out wherever they need to go. So you're doubling the bands back on themselves, through the cat band, looping into the centre, and finding those bottom 2 bands, looping them forwards. We're going to remove these now, and you can either place them on a holding hook, or you can put them down the bottom of your loom. I'm going to place them at the bottom of my loom. So I'm just going to remove, sort of give them a little tug out so they're more round and less loopy, and place them around the bottom. And this one again, stretching it out and placing it over. So we have 2 little panda ears down here. The next thing we're going to make are his arms. So again, double black bands. We're just going to go down the loom 3 times, using 2 bands together. And 3. We're going to do the same again, to leave a gap so we can make the second arm. So 1, 2 and this, I'm going to place a cap band on this pin here and this pin here, so the end of each of the little chains. So a single band again, wrapped 3 times around the pin. Same down here. 1, 2, and 3. And then we can loop them. So going inside, pushing the band back and looping forwards on each of the arms. And this one, so just looping forward the bottom 2 bands. Okay, and again I'm going to put these down the bottom of my loom. Just make sure that all the back that it's sitting straight. And we've got one more part to make before we can start on the panda's body, which is a very small extension piece. And this will help give him the more rounded face at the sides. So just going to make a little bit to put either side, like so. So for the extension, you want to take 2 white bands and we're going to go down 3 times. Down our loom. Leave a gap, do the same again. So we're going down twice again. And this will be the other side of the face. Like so. So, gone down 3 times, so exactly the same as we did with the arms, but in white. And then we're going to place in bands to attach this piece to the panda's face. So we're taking a single white band and you're just doubling it round on itself, so stretch it out, make it into a figure of 8 and then put it back around your fingers, and these are going around the bottom pin where you would normally cap it off, but we're using these instead. So this pin, and this pin, and then the same, so this pin, and this pin. So all of the pins except for the very top one. So you're using a doubled band and placing over, like so. Doing the second one now. So you're only putting 3 of these doubled bands on each of the extension pieces. Don't worry about little loopy bits, they'll sort themselves out. There we go. And again, we're going to loop these up. So if I just show you what it should look like. So as you can see, they've got little doubled bands on the bottom 3 pins, and this will be where the pin that we loop up to. So we won't need one on there. So it looks like that. So going in through the doubled over band right at the end, you'll more than likely need to hold this on because it does have a tendency to come off as you loop. And loop forwards, going inside all of the bands, just looping forward at the bottom 2, and the same again, looping forward the bottom 2 up to the top. So you'll see that this pin and this pin look a little bit thicker here than these 2, but that's how it should look. That's absolutely fine. Do the same again, so inside this bottom band, holding and looping forwards. And then again, taking the bottom 2 bands. Let me just check, I have only got 2, I've got 3 bands there. So I'm just going to put them back around the pin. Pull these bands back down. And I'm just going to do it again, just because you only need the bottom 2. Any more than that, you give yourself problems. So this is what you should have. 2 with the bands all in. I'm going to remove these, and again I'm going to place them at the bottom of my loom with the panda's arms and his ears. So in the exact same way, just put them off with your hook, place them. I'm putting them in the centre now, so you're not going up too high, so you've got space to make your panda. And these are all the little attachment bits that we need. for him. So now we're going to start making our panda. So the first bands we're going to place on are going to be the bands that we use to tie it off with. So depends on what colour you want to do these. I'm going to use white, same as I have on this design, but you can use black, you could use one of each. You can use whatever colours you want, but I'm going to use white today. So you're just placing those bands over this top centre pin and you're just letting them hang. You're not, so they're just hanging like that. And then using white bands, two together, we're going from the top centre to the top right, same on the left, like so. So you're going from the centre to the side on each of the sides, across the top pins, and then we're going to go down once on each of the rows with 2 white bands, so just working our way across all 3 rows. Like so. Now we're going to add in the big black patches for the eyes. So for this, I use 3 black bands on these. It just makes them more dense and more sort of obvious. I did do it using 2 and it didn't look quite right somehow. So if you want to use 2, then you can, but I'm using 3 because I think it looks better in the finished result. So just on these 2 pins for the eye, where the eye patches are, I'm just placing 3 bands together like this. And then we're going to go down again using 2 white bands. We're going to go down once on each side. Oh, the bands are all tangled up. There we go. So you've got 2 white, 3 black and 2 white on each side, and then down the centre we're going to place, we've already got 1 lot of white, we're going to place another lot of white, and then we're going to place a single white band, and we're going to make the nose. So you're taking a single black and a single white band, wrap the black band around your hook 3 times, and then taking the white band, place it over the end of your hook, hold it on your finger and slide onto your single band. If you find it easier to do 1 loop at a time, then that's absolutely fine, just do it that way. Whatever way is easiest for you. And we're placing these down our loom on top of that single band that we've just placed on, like that. And then we're going to go down once more with 2 white bands, sorry. And we're going to close it off. We're going to place 2 bands diagonally from here to here and here to here, white. Doesn't matter which way around you put them. And there, as we have it, is our panda's face. I'm going to carry on now and make the body. So taking 2 black bands, we're going to go down twice on each row, and you want to make sure that you overlap onto the face with the first bands. Otherwise his head's going to fall off. You don't need your panda's head to fall off. So you're doing this all the way across your loom, so you've got 2 rows on each. Oh dear, they pinged. There we go, got them back. Let's try again. Okay. And once more. So it's the top half of our panda's body. We're now going to do the same as we've just done, but with white. So 2 white bands, going down twice on each row. have our panda's body. And now we're going to close it off by placing 2 bands here, 2 bands here, same as we've done up here on the chin of the panda. So again, it doesn't matter which way around you place them. And you will need to place a cap band on at the point of these bands. So in the centre here, you'll need to place a cap band. So just a single band wrap round 3 times. There we go. Now we're going to make the panda's legs. So we're going to take 2 black bands and going down 3 times on each side. The centre row is now finished. Same the other side. Going down 3 times with 2 black bands. Like so. And where your panda's feet are, you'll also need to place a cap band. So a single band wrap round 3 times. Same on the other side. So this is what you should have so far. And that's your panda's body all laid out. We're going to add on all the extra bits now. So we start by adding on the arms. So taking one of the arms on your hook, you're placing them in the middle of these 2 black bands, so this pin here. In case you're unsure, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th pin down at each side. Like so, push them down. We're going to add on the ears, and these are going to go right at the top here on each side. So what I have found with the ears is you need to make them quite tight or they wobble and they become very loose. So although this is very fiddly, it is worth doing. So you need to, where you've put your band around the pin, you will need to pull these bands out and then double them back round. My bands are a little bit slippery as well, so it makes it doubly hard. One done. It's not easy to do, but it does make them, I've made them just looping them round, and when you come to tug it at the end to straighten it all out, they sort of hang sort of down by the sides and it looks sort of like part panda, part spaniel dog, and it looks a little bit weird. So again, I'm going to pull these bands and double them. You might find it easier to do it before you place it on actually. Place the ears where you want them, and then the last thing you'll need to do is add on the extension pieces to give him a more chubby face. So taking it on the end of your hook, we're going to place it on, sorry I'm just thinking here, so let's work this out. So we've got 3 little loops. It needs to go on the face, so it needs to go on top of the panda's ear. So there's an awful lot of bands on there. It looks like it's sort of got an earring on. And if you pull this down, you will see that you've got a little circle. If you take your hook, get the 2 bands of that circle, and you're just placing it over the 2nd pin down, so it's going over the top of a black band. Slide your fingers down on the extension piece, you'll find another little loop, little circle. Pull those out, place them around the next one, and then the last band is going on top of a black band again, so it should look like this. So you're placing it on top of the ear, little circle loop on here and here, and then the bottom loop at the bottom of the extension goes right at the bottom of the face, so it's covering the whole length of the face. And I'm going to do the exact same thing the other side. So pulling it out and placing it over the ear, finding each of the little circles, pulling out, there should be 2 bands on each because we doubled them, placing them over each of the pins and looping that last one here. So this is what it should look like by the time you've got both of the extensions on. And we can place on triangle bands now. So we're going to take a single white band and we're going to place it on these 3 pins down here just above the cap band, like so. So that's just there if you haven't done this before. We're going to place another one above that using a white band, and then we're going to switch and use a black band. And that's going around those 3. Placing another black band over the arms, switching again and using white, so we're moving on to his face. So we're going across there. Another white band is going over the top of his nose, so his nose is in the middle of the triangle, and then one more white band is going above that one. So in total we've got 7 triangle bands like this, and once you're at this stage you're ready to loop up. So taking your hook, you're going inside the cap band that's on the foot and looping forward. Same here, looping up and pulling around and looping forward like this. And I'm going to carry on now. I'm going to finish looping up the legs. And you're looping them on top of the triangle bands, but when you're looping inside the pin you're pushing them out of the way. So going inside the cap band and getting the top 2 bands, looping whichever way you need to go. Mine are going sideways first and then forwards. So just the top 2 bands and looping them, and then the last 2. So it's that sort of shape. And now I'm going to loop all the way up his body and up to this pin here. So pushing all other bands out the way and just the top 2, the bottom 2, sorry. Looping forwards, looping forwards. And I'm going to do that band there too. So you're just pulling the arm out the way and looping forwards and going up the centre. And then back down to the leg and looping forwards, so pushing triangle bands out the way. Inside the arm and looping forwards, so looped up his body. We're now going to go inside this pin here, that is his chin. Same as we did down here. Oh, excuse me. And just taking the top 2 bands and pulling them out. Oh. Top 2 bands again, pulling them where they need to go. And pulling those 2 forwards. And now I'm going to continue to loop up to the top of his head. Where you've got your extension pieces, you're just pushing them all out the way, just finding the bottom 2 bands and just looping those forwards. Okay. You've got your 3 bands on the eye patches. So just loop all 3 of those bands forward and loop those 2 white. And we're going in through the ear. Now this is going to be very difficult to do because these bands are extremely tight around this pin. Especially if you're using a plastic hook, you may have problems, but I'm sure you can overcome them. The other times I have to do, so I'm just going to take my hook and I'm going to use a fist because it is so tight, and just running around the band on the inside just to help relieve the tension on those bands. Looping forward, so just looping forward over the nose and all the way up to the top of the head, and going along the last side, all the way up, finding those 3 black bands of the eye patch, there, and there, and going back in through the other ear, like so, and looping them round. So when your panda's all looped up, you should lose the hook. It should look like this. Okay. So then we're going to take these 2 bands here that we put on first of all. So mine are white. Yours could be black or black and white or whatever colours you've decided to use for your panda. You're putting your hook inside of the pin, finding the bottom 2 bands and pulling them out, bringing them around the back of your pin, like so, and then putting the other 2 ends on your hook. Hopefully you can see a bit clearer now. The 2 that are nearest your hand, that are at the top, you're just putting over the end of your hook, pulling tight. This will make a slip knot. Put as tight as you can. And once you've done that, you can remove from your loom. Oh, sorry. Slip them. Made a horrible banging noise. So as you can see, your panda's going to look a little bit weird when he first comes off the loom. He will need a little bit of a stretch, so just pull out his arms and his legs, adjust his nose, pull out his face, sort his ears out, because they just look really daft. And most important of all, make sure that these bands are as tight as you can get them, because this is what's holding your design together. And there we have a panda. They always seem to come out differently every time I make them. This one is completely different to the one I showed you before, but equally as cute. So here is your finished panda design. As you can see, it has come out completely different, which is a little bit strange, but they're made in exactly the same way with the exact same bands, so hey ho. There we go. So I hope you've enjoyed making this. Please click like and comment. Let me know what you think of this design and the tutorial. Hit subscribe to be notified when I bring out new tutorials, which I'm trying to do every few days at the moment. I am on Instagram and Twitter at Sally's Looming if you'd like to show me pictures of your finished results of this or any of my designs. You can also make any comments you'd like to make, or make any requests, same as this one. This was a request through Twitter, so they do get to me and I do them. I'm also on Facebook, so if you search at Sally's Looming, or one word, and you can find me on there, on my group. And the same, you can share pictures and make requests and comments through there, or alternatively you can just comment under this video with anything you want to say or anything you'd like me to try and make for you. Either way will get to me, so they're all good. So yeah, I hope you like what you've made using this tutorial and you've enjoyed it, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.